Hello, this is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, a part of Redbud Realty and Associates. And this is part 3 of the I.N.V.E.S.T series, where I take a letter and I use a letter of I.N.V.E.S.T to illustrate a point about what you need to know. Today is part 3. We've been through I, which is why to invest in Oklahoma City, N, how to say no, and today is V, which is vested interest. And I want to define vested interest. That is when my interest is something that I care about more than anything else. I guess you could say that's vested interest. Your vested interest, of course, is where you should be cared more about in your belief. And then when I deal with other people, there's a vested interest. Now, when we establish a relationship in Oklahoma City, we establish what that vested interest is all about. And it's yours and mine coming together. So what we'll do is we actually sign a contract. And that contract stipulates exactly what we're going to do and why we're doing it and how I represent you. One of the things it tells me to be for you is fair and honest at all times. And then the second thing it tells me to be is I need to follow your directives. I need to be at your beck and call, essentially. The only time that I can say no in that respect is when I think it's something that's not legal or something that's not ethical, and I will inform you about that. But other than that, then I can't take my own best interest and say that trumps yours. So from a point of view of a contractual situation, and again, remember, trust has nothing to do with writing. It's important that we do at least that much, but it is all about you and I coming together, and my vested interest in a way is to have you buy more. So when we sign a contract for your first property in Oklahoma City, and we've signed an agreement of how I represent you, then I want that thing to be just absolutely wonderful because I want you to buy another and another and another. It's kind of like potato chips. Hopefully you can't just eat one, as long as it makes sense within your portfolio. Now, I'm also dealing with other realtors. I'm dealing sometimes with builders, and they'll come to me and say, Joe, I really need you, like one builder said, this year, I really need you to sell 14 properties for me this year, because if you sell 14 properties, then that basically pays for all my expenses, so find investors to buy them. And then he tells me what the deals are. Well, the deals are based on 2005, and that was a different market. People were buying in a different way in 2005 versus now. And so what I have to say to that particular builder is, look, my buyer's vested interest and mine don't coincide with yours. I really appreciate the fact that selling those 14 houses is in your best interest, and that's really, really good, and I really want you to do that. But here's what it's going to take, and that's the way I'm going to negotiate for you. Whatever it happens to be, I'm going to look at you and I as a team, as a partnership, that our vested interests essentially are one, because I want a long-term relationship with you. And so that is how this thing is done, and you need to understand that. You need to understand that somehow, even though I have to make a living and commissions are the way that I make a living, at the same time, I don't want to have to constantly be advertising and spending money to find new people. I want people that are so happy with me that not only do they buy properties, but they're like another investor that I have says to other people, you should buy properties from Joe Pryor. Or if there's an investor in trouble in Oklahoma City, somebody I didn't sell, and another investor of mine knows them and says, look, you should have dealt with Joe Pryor in the beginning, and if you need to do a short sale or sell those properties, he's the guy to talk to. This is when vested interests come together in the proper way. But understand, everybody's representing some particular type of agenda, but ultimately, all these vested interests should be subservient to yours. And so when you establish a relationship with someone in a market, make sure that you understand that. Make sure that it's lined out in detail, in writing, and then from that point of view, question everything if you feel like you don't understand or if it doesn't make sense to you, and don't do anything until it makes sense to you. This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values at the speed of technology.